Hey there everyone, welcome back to GameVine, and my name is Dave, and today we are going to be taking a look at Inner Compass from AEG. So as a disclaimer, this is a review copy from AEG. Thank you so very much for your support. We do appreciate it. Now, AEG, from my experience, makes some mighty fine games, especially in recent days. Now, the production has always been pretty good from my experience, the gameplay's pretty darn good, and the theme seems to stick pretty well. So going into an AEG game, I have some confidence that there are going to be some good components or something good about the game. And taking a look at Inner Compass, I believe myself to have a nice Inner Compass, a good moral code. At least I think so. And this has a kind of comic strip, kind of blue all over appeal to it. And it's a unique theme, and I'm not really sure how you will pull this off in a board game. This actually has a small kind of stock market manipulation in it, some hand management, some grid movement. There's a game called Mystic Market that the stock market in this game kind of reminds me a lot of. So without further ado, let me show you the production, see if the AEG knocks it out of the park again there. Then I'll show you the gameplay, and we'll go from there. Alright, so this is the production of Inner Compass, and it's pretty good. They do have a kind of monochromatic background, the blue, to make it kind of that old-timey comic strip style. It's okay. It's not winning me over entirely, but that pattern kind of sprawls all over all the components. Now these wooden components here are really nice, and it always baffles me how they can take such a delicate material like wood and not break it and still punch out these cool, very crisp shapes. Really nice. You got the paint on some of the wooden bits, very nice, and these here are chunky and they're just cubes essentially. The cardboard is really nice. You have this odd piece, which I'll show you what that does later. You get the tiles, which are pretty thick things, and then you have the cards, which are they a linen finish? No, they're not linen finish. But this is where a lot of the art is, and it could be better, but you know, it is what it is. So now that you've seen everything, let me show you how it plays. Alright, so this is a game set up for 3 players, but basically I'm just going to be going over one of the players' life board. So you set this up with all the cubes on here. The main goal is to try to get the most points over a certain amount of rounds until one player puts more than the 2 enlightenment tokens on here. So if he goes to place the third one, the person doesn't do that. They instead would grab this, and that would trigger the end of the game. Whoever has the most points at that point is the winner. Now, how are you earning these enlightenment tokens? Well, on your turn, a player turns broke down, you can get a free move. It's optional. Then you have to move once, and then you move or do a feel emotion, and then you imprint a memory, gain enlightenment points, place value tokens, and then clean up. So first, let's just go over the move. You can move to any color space that is in the quadrant that is lumped together. So in this orange quadrant, I can only move like this, but in this black quadrant, the blue could move like this if he or she wanted to. So if I do an optional move for the first move, I do that, and then I move one more time for the mandatory move, and now I can either move or feel. Now, feeling comes with the cards. All the colors correspond with the grid up here, the 2x2 grid. If I feel, then I would take the emotion card in which the direction I just moved. So if I moved from this black to this red, I moved right, so I would take this black card. But if I were to move from the white to the black and I took the black card, I could take this and then draw another card in addition, because I matched the color in which I just drew, and the cards will then of course replenish. These cards correspond to this little grid up here. Basically, this is a market scale. So the tiles here are corresponding to the cards, and this is how many cards you have to discard or sell or emote in order to get the points that correspond to the ones that are next to it. So in order to do the white emotion, I would have to discard 3, and then I would get 6 points, and then it would move all the way down, moving everything up with it. Now when the black X moves to the top, it would just move automatically down, moving everything up with it. The line that you see right here is a discount. Everything under that is discounted 1 emotion card. Orange is pretty cheap, but it's pretty rare, and the ones that are more abundant are higher numbers. So that is the market scale. Now when you're imprinting a memory, this is where you'll be placing the cubes or the squares down on the tile that you were just on, and this will help out with other things that correspond with the end game, or just getting some of these cubes off of here, because once you clear a row or a column, you then can place one of your enlightenment tokens here, and this is basically saying I'm going for this strategy for the game and I'm going to get more points for this, and I'll go over those a little bit later. Now the interesting thing is, now when you are moving and you're trying to imprint a memory, it will take you an additional memory card of that color that you're trying to sell in order to sell it. And if there are multiple players up there, it's going to increase it just by one more. But that's something that I just want you to note. This one over here, this enlightenment track, this sensitivity, you will get a point according to the number of your player cubes on the sadness blue spaces of your life board. So you're going to be trying to navigate that as well. This structure here, you'll gain points for each row or column of 3 or more on your player cube on your life board. So you're trying to navigate that. Again, the person that goes to place their third enlightenment token, they wouldn't do so. They would grab this, get 3 points. You would count up all your points that you've gotten over the game, do all the points that you would happen to have over here, and whoever has the most enlightenment points is the winner. That's essentially it. Pretty sure I covered everything, but there might be a few things left over, but you know the basics. Now let me tell you what I think about this game and give it a grade. So that is how you play Inner Compass. Now, as we always do, let's give this game a grade and tell you what I think about it. It gets a 70 from me. There are some good things here, and I like the game. I'm willing to play it, but I don't think it's something that's going to stay on my shelf for a very long time. So the hiccups, let's go over those now. Like I said earlier in the video, Mystic Market is a very family-friendly stock market game, and really it's the stock market variant in here, and that's really it, and just kind of manipulating those cards. And this game is like Mystic Market on steroids, and they took a whole bunch of other things too and just added it to it. And in this case, more is not better. I enjoy Mystic Market quite a bit. This one here, I just found myself, I don't know, there were times where it was underwhelming for me. The theme really never picked up. You had to kind of really imagine the cards that you picked up as feelings and emotions, and you can't really force emotion. And it was a tightrope walk for AEG to do such a theme, so I give them credit there, to take the leap of faith. Unfortunately, the gameplay, like I said, there was a lot of little tiddly things, and the replayability really isn't there. The theme isn't there in the stock market manipulation. I don't know, it was underwhelming. The game comes together as a package, as a whole. It works as a game. And if I didn't have many board games on hand, I would enjoy this more. But because there's so many other games that do this specific mechanism, or these specific mechanisms, and keeps it more in a small package and doesn't have a dilution of little other things going around, I don't see myself picking this one up too much. So I'm giving it a 70 because I do think it is a solid game. I do think that the designers really went for something it just missed the mark. But there are some glimmers of hope in this game. Like, I like the different scoring mechanisms at the very end of the game, and I like trying to figure out the best way to manipulate my life board. But I'm really trying to draw from a bucket here that doesn't have much water, you know? Because there's just not much more I can say. Do I recommend this? Not so much. But if you like what you see here, you know if you want this game or not, it's going to be in the description below. So, you know, it's just not for me. It might be for you, and that is awesome. I hope it is. And again, thank you so much, AEG, for allowing us to review the Inner Compass. This experience is always fun. I love reviewing board games, regardless if they're for me or not. And thank you so much, Vine Nation, for clicking like and subscribe. And again, if you want this game, in the description below. Until the next time that I see you, have a great rest of your day and a great time with all you play. I'm out. Bye. Vine Nation, we love making content here for you on the channel, and we're almost at 10,000 subscribers, so subscribe now and help us out. This video right here, I think you'll like. This video right here, YouTube thinks you'll like. Or you can just sit here and watch me dance the dinosaur for a little bit longer. You can visit us at our social media outlets, and we're going to be improving our Patreon here soon. That's all for today. Miko, it's time to go. Good girl, Miko.